Damien?
Still here.
You're closing out for the night. Your secretary is left. Johan has left.
Yeah.
There comes a sir.
Yep.
I saw your light still on. It's one of the guards. There was a boy here with a message.
I take the message.
He gives it to you, and guard goes back.
Listen to it in my message corner.
Okay.
Damien, you've been more helpful than you know.
By the way, you should fire Johan Andrasen. He's been feeding all my messages to Ryken Brook. Don't worry, I knew the whole time. But his usefulness has ended, and it's time to clean house. The news probably hasn't made the rounds yet. But if Eli is delivering this message to you, then done shipping and Legion Arms and the Enduring families are finished. The king will likely hear about it soon. He'll have no choice but to sever these companies from his graces. You'll understand why. Their fall will take many centurions with them. Make sure you stand out as someone the king can trust. I've provided a few recommendations for replacement companies. You should consider backing, and who should consider backing you. If you play your hand right, you should be able to rise and become one of the most powerful men in the realm. Consider this my way of saying thank you for all you've done. By the way, you should consider coordinating your next steps with Arlis. You'll note I've suggested his sister's company to replace Legion Arms, and also coordinate with the new Lady Christianis. I've sent them additional details about my investigations, and I think they'll be trustworthy connections to have in the coming days. Thanks again. Bummer it ended this way. I guess time comes for us all.
A few days later, 3 people receive messages. Theraline, Cornelia, and Arlis. Teraline's message is a simple recording of Andrew. And when you listen to it, you hear,
"Thank you for believing in me when no one else did. Sorry it turned out this way. But if you're getting this, I'm dead. It's not so bad though. It'll help end the war for whatever it's worth. Anyway, stop taking stupid risks and move on with your life. I'm glad you found some friends. I hope you find joy with them. If you want to know what I was up to, ask Cornelia or Arlis."
Arlis, you get, along with the normal goods and support, a package, strangely enough, from Andrew Harker.
Usually he just asks for it.
And it's got a recording in it.
It's a video. You see him reaching back from the halo that's sitting on a rock. Hey, so if you're getting this, then you probably already know I'm dead. I hope you don't mind. There wasn't really another way. As I'm sure you figured out by now. This whole damn war was planned by Romish traders, right? I don't know why. Besides the money. There's a name at the top of all this. Dardaniel. I provided you a photo of the man. I haven't been able to investigate it much further than this. I hope this will be enough. It didn't work alone, of course. Helping him were done shipping, Legion Arms, and various members of the Kasud baking families. We funded our own destruction. For what it's worth, I doubt they thought the war would go like this. It's all of them. You can't control war. It destroys everything in its way. They probably thought the mages would save them. Idiots. Anyway. And this corruption runs deep. Had to. There's no way they were doing all this for so long, no one in authority finding out. We all know the Century's scum to their core. We all know the uppity ups are us, up to their neck in filth and wealth. So evidence wasn't going to be enough. If I was going to bring justice, I was going to have to do it myself. I knew that was a tall order. They'd already bested me once. Oh yeah, I was in prison for a year. I mean, almost a year.
It's rough, buddy.
I don't think I mentioned that. I mean, more like solitary confinement than prison, and more like starving to death. You get the picture. But anyway, after I helped reclaim the arms shipment from Legion Arms to the Dragon Kingdoms, I tracked their operation to Berenda, where they were loading the weapons in barges. I couldn't find anything on the maps, but I think the Ovar River must cut west. So I don't think that makes sense. Probably goes all the way up to Drake's Spawn, maybe further. They ship the weapons upriver and ship gold ore back down the river. Gold ore gets shipped around a bit to get lost and then taken to Drake's Spawn for smelting. Or at least it used to. That plant's probably on pause lately. Anyway, after it's smelted, it's deposited in the banks and the bankers make sure the money gets lost and found where it belongs. Now everybody's happy. Probably could have killed the individuals involved. Did I mention they imprisoned me for a year?
It did come up.
But the individuals are easy to replace. What I really needed was to destroy the entire company, the entire conspiracy, all at once. And I needed to leave D'Artagnan out to dry, and to do so in such an embarrassing way that he'd have a hard time getting a new crew together. I couldn't figure out any way to eliminate D'Artagnan too, especially since I didn't even know who he was. But all the others were pretty easy to piece together once I saw the operation. Even then, though, probably couldn't destroy them one at a time. Just one man, they knew I was onto them, and it would have killed anyone I tried to bring in. I need to destroy all of them all at once. Alone. Quickly. At first I thought maybe I could do something if I just had the banking records. So I went and acquired those. But the banker in charge, oddly another guy named Andrew, kept the whole book in his head. Everything. Not just this conspiracy, the entire underground operation of Bank of Eastside. All in his head. I'm impressed. So I needed a scheme. The knowledge in Andrew Ryken Brook's head could prove the conspiracy and they could bring the court of public opinion, hopefully with that, the court of actual justice down on the heads of those involved. But I had no proof of anything. The ledger was empty, and Ryken Brook had no reason to write anything down. I needed a way for him, the only man with all the incriminating evidence, to put it all down on paper. And the only reason he'd do that would be if he had nothing else to lose. So I started by planting the idea in his head that putting his knowledge on paper would be incredibly dangerous to the other families. That might be a good way to gain leverage over them. But why would he want leverage when he already had a working relationship? So I needed to convince me that the other three families had lost faith in him and were working to destroy him. It was a little tricky, but one by one, I set up scenarios that looked to Ryken Brook and to his spies like I was swaying the families against him. Best of all, since the families had no idea that what I'd done, they could all plausibly deny having anything to do with me, despite Ryken Brook's concrete evidence of my contacting them. And I could cement his distrust. It was a stretch. But I did it. Ryken Brook became convinced that the families might be turning on him, so his plan was simple. Kill me, and use his leverage to solidify his position long enough for them all to trust each other again. So he planted the traps that I couldn't. The traps that would really bring down the families. He thought he had taken everything from me. He thought that I was trying to take his place, and that by threatening to destroy that position of wealth, he had made himself invincible for me. Yeah, I didn't need his money. Shame. His memory was really a sight to behold. He was a great banker. But having bound up his own death with the destruction of the other three families, I could finally kill him. And then the other families at the same time. So I did. At least I hope I did. I'm recording this from the sewers of Eastside while I wait for the final encounter. I don't really expect to get out of this alive. They are way more powerful than me, and I need to take them entirely by surprise. So there's going to be some kind of a trap, probably with one with no good way out for me. So, if I do make it out, I'll cancel this message. I don't want to put you at risk. And if it failed, it shouldn't be hard to figure out if it failed, then I'm sorry, but I've put you at a lot of danger by sending this to you. Please watch out for yourself. Is there anything else? Centurion Damien's a good man. He can help you out if you need. If I succeeded, then I have just one last request. The year of torture I went through, for this bloody war, for tearing my friends and life away from me, for threatening everyone I touch, for corrupting my country, burning my home, and trading souls for gold, and loyalty for power. Just one last favor I ask of you. Find Darden, yell it, end him. As painfully and viciously as you can. Burn him. Wipe his name from the face of Holland. I wish I could have ripped his throat out with my own bare hands, but I couldn't at the time. Please, do this for me. Messages.
Cut to the Century. And you see the Century actually present is not only the Century, but the representatives of the kings, the Council of Kings. It is a combined, both houses. And there are men standing shamefacedly in the midst of the circle. And one is speaking. The officers of the Banking Association are shocked and horrified by the corruption of Bram Naduran Vadaras, Ethelred Arlandon Dunn, and Tacitus Menaden Gata, who placed their own greed above the security and safety of the realm. For the security of the citizens of the realm, and to maintain the clearest transparency as these affairs are set right, we now cede executive control of the banks to the realm, and to the office of the High King of the realm. And there's a general rumble of assent. And Tiberius steps forward. It is a sober day. I am humbled by the trust you have shown by giving me this immense responsibility. Rest assured, when this war ends, I shall reinstate the banks as we once knew them. But during these treacherous times, we cannot in good conscience allow our money to fall under the manipulative control of the very people who are seeking to overthrow our very way of life. May there be prosperity and stability in all our realm's lands. May our people be free and safe. May this war come to a swift and victorious conclusion. And may God bless the realm. Cut to Cornelia.
Cornelia's message starts the same as Arlis's. It's all the same content. As I reach forward to click, see the second video start. Cornelia, this part's just for you. By opening this message, you've received the ownership of the safety script you'd asked me for a few years back. There's more to it than you asked for. I'm sorry. It was for a good cause. You'll see how much more now that you're the eye in the group. I'm also leaving you all that I inherited from Mattia. As one of the few untalented among our friends, you should find these scripts as useful as I did. I'd upgraded some of them a while back to be more helpful. You'll also find the rest of my Mattia's belongings at the location attached to this message. It's a safety deposit box at the Bank of Eastside. Please don't go alone, and don't go by yourself. Eastside is no place for you. But these things are important, and they'll help you, and they'll help end the war. Take care of yourself. Take care of the others. You're stronger than you know. Stay safe. Please. And one other thing. Thanks for that walk on the beach way back when. I know it was awkward. I probably made a fool of myself. I'm a blind idiot, but I could see at least that much. Sorry if I hurt you. I do truly hope when all of this is over and buried by the years in our memories. Maybe. Let's do it. Only as friends. I hope, I do truly hope to meet you again in the shade of the moon someday.
You are crying. And brush away the tear. And there is blood on your hands.